The footage on the left is what my forward fold looked like when I was completely cold. The footage on the right is what it looked like after doing the session that I'm about to show you. You be the judge. All right, I'm going to be honest here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've tried every method under the sun to make my hamstrings more flexible, because I haven't. And let's be honest, you probably haven't either. And the reason you haven't done that is probably because stretching your hamstrings as a dude is not a particularly rewarding venture at all. It sucks real bad. So I would do normally anything in my power to avoid actually stretching my hamstrings. This is why I fell in love with full range of motion training. Exercises like Romanian deadlifts, straight-legged deadlifts, Jefferson curls, any sort of movement where I could convince myself that I was probably getting more range of motion without actually having to physically sit there and stretch and endure the suck. And don't get me wrong, these exercises have definitely given me heaps more range of motion than I've ever had before, but it's still not getting me where I really want to be. I think the real reason why I hated stretching my hamstrings so much is because I never managed to make any sort of progress. No matter how hard I would push myself or hold poses for a long period of time, I would still wake up and be in exactly the same spot that I was the day before. What I eventually realized was that I was only training half of the equation. I was getting my hamstrings into longer stretched positions, and even some of those positions I was getting them stronger, but I wasn't training the muscles responsible for being able to pull my body into that range. And so once I found that other half, everything started to make sense. And once that stuff started making sense, I actually enjoyed stretching because I was seeing results. And they were pretty quick. When you get results, this positive reinforcement, it makes you want to do that thing a bit more. But when you just go day after day through the motions, trying to stretch passively and then it go back to normal, that's probably why you just give up and stop trying. So the idea we're going to talk about today is actually pretty simple, and feel kind of stupid that I haven't heard about it before or even thought about it myself. Instead of just training the muscles on the back of our body to get longer, we are going to try and strengthen the muscles on the front of our body to then be able to help pull us into this range. So in this session today, we're essentially going to be going between a loaded stretch, so a stretch that we're going to assist ourselves in some way, whether it be with a towel or some weights, and then we're going to train the other side of our body, these muscles that are essentially the opposites of the one we're trying to stretch, and we're going to get them stronger in these end of range positions. I've only been practicing this method for like the last 2 or 3 weeks now, and I'm not saying that this is the be all and end all and the method that's going to fix everything for you, but the gains that I've got in my range of motion are so much better than I've ever got trying to do PNF stretching or static holds or even just loaded stretching on its own. So we're going to jump outside and go into the routine. I would love for you to follow along. If you aren't a flexible person, this might not be the video for you. You could still do variations of the moves we're going to do, but I'll make a beginner video for everyone out there a little bit later. This one is probably more for people who are a little bit more intermediately. So we're going to jump outside and get into the routine. I would love for you to follow along with me. If you feel like you're not a very flexible person, this might not be the routine for you. Definitely still try and follow along. I'll give variations of things that you can do. This is probably more for people who are a bit more intermediate and they're trying to break through some stretching plateaus that they just can't seem to get through. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Sweet. So I'm going to try and keep this as quick as possible. The things we're going to need are something heavy, kettlebell. We're going to need a foam roller, preferably without big nodules on it. And we're going to need something to stand on to elevate our feet. So I've just got a log here. Make sure it is high enough for you. So the first thing we're going to do is test our hamstring range, see how we can go with completely straight knees. We tuck our chin, we come on down, see how we go. You know, mine's not the worst in the world. I can nearly get there. I'm not trying too hard here. Like I'm not like really reefing in like, oh, so that's me trying. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down onto the ground. We'll grab our roller. And if you can't even sit in this sort of position here, hopefully you can see me. If you can't sit in this position here with your legs out in front of you, you just elevate your butt on a block or something like that. But we're going to take roller here. Let's fix this mic. And we're going to try and compress our body over the roller, and we're going to bring our legs up towards our body. So we're going to go 10 compressions. We're going to go for 10 seconds, 3 lots of 10 seconds. So we're going to hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take a break, little chill. Compress again. 1, 2, relax. Pressing in here. 1, 2, 10. Cool. Take a chill. We'll move our roller. We're going to bring our hands by our sides. We're going to come into a little bit of a forward fold, and then we're going to come back a little bit, press our fingers down onto the ground, and we're going to lift our feet up towards the sky. So we're going to try and do a bit of a compression here. So same sort of thing, but this time we're actually going to lift our legs. So we're going to push our hands into the ground, lift our feet up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We chill. Cool. And so now we want to grab our step. I'll get it in frame for you guys. We come on down here and we grab our weight. And so we're going to be doing this loaded Jefferson curl here. So I'm going to come out of frame for a little bit, but I'm going to come back. And so we want to try and keep our chin tucked, and we're going to completely have our knees locked out. We're going to bring this down as far as we can kind of go here. We're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to see if we can kind of pull ourselves down using our hip flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull ourselves down even further. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go one last pull. Hopefully I'm not yelling in the mic here. All right, drop that. Roll them back up. Move your step. Or just step over to your step. And we'll just run that a couple more times. So we'll get our foam roller really close. Hold it in with our elbows. And then we really try and roll super hard. And it's like as hard as you can here. Like you're trying to basically like squish this foam roller into two. Sandwiching with your quads, sandwiching with your core, your hip flexors. Break. Maybe roll it down a little bit. Can we go a bit further? Really throw yourself into it. Cool, we'll go one more. Cool. All right, roller shifts. Get our hands here, and we're going to lift our feet up. So feet are coming up, using our hip flexors and our core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. You might not be able to get your feet as high as me, but that's all good because we're just learning. Back into the Jefferson curl. Get your step, get your weight, and just see how we go. We might be able to get a little bit further than last time. Knees completely locked out, tuck chin. All right, we're pulling down. Okay. We're going to go big on push for 5 seconds. So pulling down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding that spot. Breathe. Another pull down for 5 seconds. 1, 2. Chill. One more pull down. Really pull it now. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Holy. It's full on. It's meant to keep you warm, This isn't just gentle stuff here. We're really trying to create change in the body. All right, nice one. Rollers here. This is going to be a last round, and then we're going to have a little test. We'll see how different we look. All right, so throw your abs into the roller. Quads are on. Hip flexors are on. Chill. Another lot. Let's go. Relax. Cool. We'll go for the last squeeze here. Make it a good one. All right, let's go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. All right, hands are coming in front. Big compression here. So we're going to lift feet as high as we possibly can. Hopefully try not to round too much through the back like I might be doing. Oh well. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. So like I'm getting cramping in this rectus femoris muscle, and it's like, it's the strangest feeling. But it's good. It's what we want. All right. Last round of Jefferson curl. As much as you can, really try and keep your knees as straight as possible. I might be cheating a little bit. I'm coming on down, hanging out here. And then we'll give it a big push. See if we can try and bring ourselves down with our hips. Engage the hip flexors, bring ourselves down. Relax, see another big push. Really hug the hip flexors in. Oh my God. Last one. Big pull down. All right, I've maxed out. All right, drop the weight. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. We'll move our stuff and we'll have another little test. See where we're at. So you could probably do that for a couple more rounds, but for the purpose of this video, I just try to keep it nice and short. So come on down, try not to cheat, try not to pull myself down too much, but with keeping the knees completely locked out, we'll tuck our chin, see how we can go down here. And so I'm not using my hands to pull myself down. I'm now using my hip flexors. Sorry for yelling in the mic. Once we get in this position, we can kind of pull ourselves down a little bit more. Into this loaded stretch. And then we'll come up nice and tall. So obviously that was just one part of our body that we use that technique for to get stronger and longer and better range of motion. But you could apply this concept to all different areas of the body, and I will cover that in different videos. But I do have to give a shout out to the lads at Unity Gym. They're a couple of Aussie guys, Rad and Yanni Bergmeister. Hope I didn't butcher your name. But these dudes are amazing, helping people get out of pain as well. And I learned this concept from them, and I'm so glad that I did. So please feel free to check those guys out. If you found that routine a little bit too challenging, I will go and try and make a more beginner version of this same concept. So we're still going to be using the opposing muscles to get strong at the same time as lengthening. It will just be at a little bit more of a beginner level, so everyone can have a crack. Okay, awesome. Hope that helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.